So you've just seen The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and you want more, and that's okay. You're supposed to want more. That's the whole idea behind these two-parters. In fact, didn't the whole thing seem a little Empire Strikes Back to you? Ending on a cliffhanger with the fates of our favorite characters uncertain. We've even got our own version of Han Solo in Carbonite. Although Peeta is totally Luke Skywalker. Will Luke get the girl this time? Well, you might have to wait a whole year to find out for sure in Mockingjay Part 2, but today we're going to discuss what to expect. But before we get started, beware, there are spoilers for Part 1 ahead. You've been warned. So, one of the chief complaints emerging about Mockingjay Part 1 is a lack of action. Apparently, audiences don't universally love political intrigue and propaganda as much as they do fights to the death. But we expected this, as did the filmmakers. That's why their secret weapon is the same as Snow's. And coins? Book readers know what I'm talking about. But the non-spoiler version is that however you might feel about Mockingjay's A storyline, the rebels versus the Capitol, you know that the B storyline has sucked you in. That's right, Joshifer. That's a real thing. Fans want to see it on screen, they want to see it in real life. That's why Mockingjay Part 1 ends on that gut-wrenching shot of a tortured Peeta thrashing in his futuristic padded cell, and why a teary-eyed Katniss bears witness. Pre-Mockingjay, it's been easy to write Peeta off as the male version of a damsel in distress, largely because the filmmakers did a bad job of establishing his true purpose in this story. But now that his plight has gotten cool with this uber-dramatic plot twist of being turned against Katniss, the filmmakers are finally on board. And Mockingjay Part 2 will very much be the fight for Peeta's soul. I mean, come on, when you left that theater after Part 1, weren't you thinking about Peeta? Good, because his true purpose in this story is that he's its heart, he's the good. But there is still evil left, and Katniss will discover it's not quite so black and white, or is that gray and white? Question is, what will she do about it? Katniss is, after all, known for going off-book. And for those who like action in their Hunger Games movies, you're in luck. Mockingjay Part 2 will find the rebels actually engaging the enemy, and the Capitol apparently uses the same weapons designers for war as they do for the Hunger Games. But if a character dies and a cannon doesn't go off, does it have the same effect? I don't know. Ask cinefans. And let's not forget that this is the final chapter of the Hunger Games, and hopefully it will come full circle as Katniss and her fellow tributes return to the Capitol for a final reckoning. Will they recognize this fallen Rome? Will audiences? And what will be the final takeaway? At the New York press conference for Mockingjay Part 1, Donald Sutherland said he begged to be a part of this franchise, as he wanted to do something good with the final chapter of his life, to inspire a new generation to fight the good fight politically. The same generation that's complaining there isn't enough action in Mockingjay Part 1? Or is that just the jaded older media that simply doesn't get it? So, what are you the most excited to see in Mockingjay Part 2? More action and a return to President Snow as Jigsaw? Or Peeta's redemption and makeout session? Maybe both? And as Mockingjay begins to wrap up, are you beginning to be inspired to get involved politically in the real world, to evoke change? Or do you just see this as kick-ass entertainment? Write your thoughts down below. I'm Grace Randolph, and this has been a Movie Bite. You can watch more right now.